So,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly DVMUG meeting. Today's Tuesday, September the 24th, and it's the end of almost the end of September, and it's 100 degrees out there. Can't believe that. I have a couple of news items and a few videos, and then we'll have a question and answer session at the end. As always, the links to this to the videos and the news items have been posted onto the BBS, and John's going to put a copy of it over into the chat, Zoom chat session that we have right now, and so you can get it, so you can get to them that way. For those of you that don't have access to the BBS, contact John and I'll give you a hand trying to get in there and get to these links that I'm going to be talking about. Also, this is being recorded to Zoom, and it'll be there after we end all the proceedings here. So, besides being hot outside, I have no announcement outside of that, but I do have a couple of videos. I'm sorry, a couple of news items. Um, Before we go to the news items, I always proceed this with make sure you update everything. We had massive updates, upgrades, and all kinds of stuff. So make sure you upgrade everything. Make it up to date. At least it's all working. It's not going to be popping questions at you or giving you problems. So the news item is I don't kind of understand what's happening, but anyway, Europe is the European Commission. Really, I don't know what the Europe demands Apple open up iOS for better accessory compatibility means, but if you read into it, they actually are beginning to set up a legal requirements for Apple to open up all the iOS and iPad OS to third parties on top of allowing rival app stores and payment systems. So I don't know what's happening, but it looks like Apple's going to have to open up and let other people have access to its software. I don't like that kind of feeling myself, because I don't know what that means for me, but they are insisting that that's what Apple needs to do. And if they don't, there's this link. If you go click on that link, there is major penalties, indicating major penalties if they don't do it. So um, they're gonna pursue a way out, but if they can't, they're gonna have to put up with it. So the other thing is, Apple discontinues the iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 13. It's still possible to get an iPhone 15 Pro or iPhone 15 Pro Max from retailers, but be in a hurry. But Apple has officially discontinued the 2023 models as well as iPhone 13 and other products as part of its annual streamlining. Yeah, I don't like much about this either, but this is what's happening. So, for those of you planning on getting new iPhones, I read into this a little further. That's all I have for news. So, without further ado, let's go look at some videos regarding our updates and the upcoming new events. So, let's see videos. First one is 5 helpful tips for using your iPhone and Mac together. This is the new operating system. So here we go.
With continuity, you can share items, scan documents, and more across your devices. Here are some helpful tips for using your iPhone and Mac together. Before you start, make sure your iPhone and Mac are using the latest software and you're signed in with the same Apple ID and have handoff turned on for both devices. You should also have Bluetooth enabled and Wi-Fi turned on, though your devices don't have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. Ready? Let's get productive. With Universal Clipboard, you can copy content such as text, images, photos, and videos on your iPhone, and then paste the content on your Mac. Let's use live text to copy from a photo. On your iPhone, using a photo that contains text, touch and hold a word, and drag the handles to select what you want to copy. Then, when the menu appears, tap Copy, and on your Mac, just paste it into a supported document. Adding this to our list of things to do. When you turn on a focus, it syncs across all of your devices signed into iCloud, including your Mac. In Control Center on your iPhone, tap Focus, and then select the focus you want to use. This will automatically turn the same focus on for your Mac, where you'll get a notification confirming that it's on. And the focus icon will appear in the status bar. You can also select a focus on your Mac, and it will automatically sync on your iPhone. Now we're focused on this report. With AirDrop, you can quickly send photos, videos, documents, and more between your iPhone and Mac. We're going to send some photos. On your iPhone, select the items you want to share, and tap the Share button. Then tap AirDrop, and tap your Mac under My Devices. AirDrop will send the items to your Mac, and they'll automatically appear in the Downloads folder. These will be great in our report. You can scan a form or document in a compatible app like Notes or Mail using your nearby iPhone, and it will appear instantly on your Mac, right where you need it. In the space you want the scan to appear on your Mac, Control-click to bring up the menu, and click Scan Documents. The Camera app on your iPhone will open. Just hold the rear camera over the document to automatically start scanning. Tap Save when you're done, and it will appear in the space you selected on your Mac. Signed and ready to send. You can add your favorite iPhone widgets to the desktop on your Mac. Just Control-click your desktop. Click Edit Widgets, and select the app you want to use from the sidebar in the widget gallery. If a widget is not from an app on your Mac, it will show From iPhone in the upper right corner of the gallery. Just drag the widget to your desktop and then click Done in the widget gallery. Perfect time for tide pooling. Now you know a few continuity tips to help you get more done on your Mac, with a little help from your iPhone. For more helpful tips, subscribe to the Apple Support YouTube channel, or
There we go. I believe, any questions or comments regarding this? I believe this is a new feature that came out with Sequoia and iOS 18, where I noticed on my phone, when I updated to Sequoia, there's a new icon that appeared on my dock, and it's the phone.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't she say that you don't have to be on the same network?
That's what she said.
Right.
The same Wi-Fi network.
So theoretically, if somebody is teaching a class and there's a bunch of people with phones, he could drop something onto everybody's phone without them having to be on the same network, right?
They
No,
just
they
have
have
to
to be
have
logged in
Wi-Fi
on the
turned on.
same account.
Everybody's talking at once. You're all unintelligible.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you just have to, everybody has to have Wi-Fi turned on. It doesn't have to be on the same network.
No, but they all have to be on the same account.
Ah,
Same Apple ID.
there you go.
Same
They were
Apple
talking
ID,
about
right.
they were talking about continuity. That's on your account. The things you can do from your phone to your computer.
Roger that. Okay.
Because otherwise,
I have a
I'm
quick
sorry.
question about when she talked she talked about AirDrop. And I understand how you select a photo and then tap share, and then tap AirDrop. And then she said go to your Mac and tap my devices. Where would I find my devices?
You know, anybody have an answer to that?
I don't have to tap anything. It'll just come up saying, do you accept or not
Oh,
accept?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, thanks.
Right. You have to be within so many feet of the person,
Okay,
right? Or the device.
okay.
You
Right.
don't have to tap anything.
Bruce,
Anyway, Bill, you got a question?
Yeah, aren't those devices down the sidebar that just have different names and different releases of macOS? But my devices is basically down your sidebar.
Yeah, it's all the stuff that identifies like your phone and your Mac Mini and your
Exactly.
iPad and your
Bruce, the new icon on your Sequoia dock of the phone is for iPhone mirroring.
okay. That means that you could actually show your iPhone.
Yeah,
Your
you can.
phone.
It will show your iPhone, and you control your iPhone just like with the mouse, touching the iPhone that appears on your Mac. Rick
I
has
get it.
used that.
We should try it anyway. I mean, it's like
It works. I've used it extensively in my class last week.
You have to have iOS 18 and M series
Sequoia.
Mac. Sequoia and an M series Mac, not an Intel, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Sequoia, or what we have before that?
Sonoma. No, it's
Sonoma.
only that's a Sequoia feature, and you have to have an M series processor, not an Intel processor.
But if you want to use it on an iPhone with iOS 17 and the machine's got Sequoia, it works. I tested it.
Really?
Because you have an M series Mac, not an Intel Mac.
Correct.
Well, that's good to know.
It's really brilliant.
It's very helpful. It allows you to type on the keyboard on your computer rather than on the phone.
That's something we should demo in the meeting, but not today.
Anybody else have any thoughts about this? Anyway, I have a few of these Apple shorts in here. There was one long video by Gary. No, not long, but anyway, it's about the new operating system and how it works. But everything else is
Apple released a whole bunch of these shorts in the last week or
right,
two.
right.
There was a whole bunch of them in Sunday's MailChimp. There was a really long list of videos.
I was going to ask another one that wasn't supposed to, that I didn't send to you, but I figured that's enough. So anyway, so here we go with the next one here is 5 helpful hints on using your AirPods. And I chose that one because I purchased a set and I'm floundering. I am floundering on how to use these things. So I figured for those of you who are thinking of getting AirPods to be able to hear with or help you hear with it like I need, um, we'll have we have a video to show us how it's done. And so this is going to be about the AirPods or Beats and the background, how to control the background sounds, announce notifications, and Siri. And I'm just clueless, so I want to see this. I want to really hear. I'm going to have to watch this over and over. So here we go.
Whether you just got your first set or want to learn more, here are 5 helpful AirPods tips. When you're wearing your AirPods, you can share audio you're listening to with a friend using their AirPods or Beats wireless headphones. In Control Center, tap the button for your AirPods, and then tap Share Audio. If your friend is already wearing their AirPods, when they bring their iPhone near yours, they can tap the Join button. If their AirPods are still in their case, bring it close to your iPhone and open the lid. When your friend's AirPods appear on your screen, tap Share Audio. Then, press and hold the Setup button on the back of their AirPods case for a few seconds. This will temporarily connect them to your iPhone while you share audio. You can adjust the volume with the controls on each set of headphones, or in Control Center on your device. Now, you can jam out together. Want to give your AirPods a new name? While wearing them, in Settings, tap your AirPods. Tap their current name, and then enter a new one. Just tap Done to save it. Live Listen uses the microphone on your iPhone or iPad to send audio to your AirPods so you can hear someone more clearly in a noisy environment or even from across the room. In Settings, scroll down and tap Control Center. Then scroll down and tap the Add button next to Hearing. Now open Control Center and tap the Hearing button. With your headphones connected, tap Live Listen to turn it on. Audio is sent from the microphone on your device to your AirPods. Just tap Live Listen again to turn it off. With hearing controls added to Control Center, you can listen to background sounds with your AirPods to minimize distractions while using your iPhone, or to just get some rest. From the hearing controls, tap Background Sounds, and tap the background sounds icon to turn it on. This is also how you turn it off. Then tap a sound. You can choose from sounds like bright noise, ocean, rain, and more. To adjust the volume, drag the volume slider. So soothing. You can have Siri announce incoming notifications while you're wearing your AirPods. In Settings, tap Notifications. Next, tap Announce Notifications, and then tap to turn it on. And that's it. When your iPhone screen is locked and dark, Siri will announce your incoming notifications from supported apps like Messages and Reminders.
From Rebecca Hernandez, let's catch a movie this weekend.
Now that you know these tips, keep exploring to discover what else you can do with your AirPods. To learn more about your Apple devices, subscribe to the Apple Support YouTube channel, or
Well, here we have it. I don't understand most of this, and a couple of things I need to figure out is how to operate them to start with. So, do you have any? Can anybody add anything to these? To this?
They didn't touch on the main thing that you're looking for before the hearing aid software comes out, probably next month. It's called transparency, and it's buried in there, but you can Google it and find how to turn it on and off and set a Siri shortcut so you can just say, "Hey Siri, turn on transparency. Hey Siri, turn it off." And that basically is the hearing aid
Sorry, I
function
can't help you with
without
that.
the hearing test.
Oh,
I have a question that's a bit of an aside from that's been driving me nuts with Zoom. And that is, how do I manage to switch my audio? Everybody's mic comes in only on the right channel, and I need it in both ears.
In your AirPods?
Actually, this happens with earpods plugged directly in. It just is that this app that we're all using right now isolates everything to the one channel of people's microphones, and my left ear has nothing.
Oh, mine's not doing that.
I can't find the setting anywhere.
This is in Zoom or what?
It's in Zoom.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's on the presenter's end.
No, because I hear it fine in both AirPods. Always have.
Oh well.
Sounds like you got it set to mono or something like that.
I've looked through all the settings. I've been through all of Zoom's help system. Nobody seems to experience this.
But otherwise, you hear it in both ears when not in Zoom.
When not in Zoom, it's great. In Zoom, I only hear in the right ear.
Read something about that where you're isolated something in this little booklet where it says left or right ear, something to that effect.
So when you're in Zoom settings under audio, you can push test speaker and it plays a Zoom tone.
And that comes in both ears.
You do get it in both ears.
It's from whoever is putting on the presentation, whoever is the, host and administrator. It's their settings.
No.
But if they turn that on to mono, then everyone else doesn't get stereo.
No, nobody's ever said that. I've been doing it for 4 years. I've always heard it in both ears. I've never heard it in one ear. So that's not from the settings on.
But that's not related to the presentation right now. It's always only in one ear in Zoom.
Okay.
And it's not just DVMUG. It's all Zoom sessions.
Yeah.
Is there a balance setting in Zoom?
No. Anyway, we'll pick that up in the general meeting after the presentation.
Okay. Anybody else has anything to add? Because I'm all ears. I need to learn everything about these things. So, but anyway, the next one we're going to have is what's new in Mac OS Sequoia. Boy. There's a lot of new features, even before Apple Intelligence or AI. You have a ton of window tiling commands, a new password app, math notes, audio transcriptions, iPhone mirroring, and more. And that's what John was talking about. That's what that icon is for on the right-hand side. So let's see what he's got to say or tell us.
What's new in macOS Sequoia? Let's take a look. So macOS Sequoia version 15 is going to roll out in stages. 15.0 won't have most of the Apple Intelligence features that people have been talking about. But 15.1 and 15.2 coming later this year will have more and more of those features. Let's focus on what's new in the initial release, 15.0 of macOS Sequoia. So I think the tiling features are what most people will be talking about. This allows you to quickly position windows around the screen. So here I've got a bunch of different windows, and of course I can drag them wherever I want and resize them however I want, just like before. But in the window menu, there are now a bunch of different tools like fill to fill the entire space, or center to center the window. Also under move and resize, you're going to see a variety of things like going to the left, the right, the top, filling the top left quarter and all of that. You'll be able to arrange all of the windows in quarters or in other arrangements. Hold the Option key and you get more, and notice all the keyboard shortcuts for doing this quickly as well. You can also access these with the green button here. Just hover over it and you get access to a lot of those options. The Option key gets you even more. Plus, you could drag and drop to do it. So I can drag this window to the left and it will snap into half the screen. I'll drag this window to the right and it will snap as well. Cool thing is you drag away and you can see how it returns to its normal size. You can also snap up and use the corners as well. So a lot of people are going to really love how you can tile the windows, and you still have access to full screen and split view just as before. Now, a new iCloud Drive feature that I think a lot of people have been waiting for is the ability to take a file like this one and say you have the optimize feature turned on. Now, if you go offline, you can never be 100% sure that this file is going to be available to you. But in Sequoia, you can bring up the context menu, and one of the options is keep downloaded. So that will make sure that that file is always on your Mac and available even when you're offline and using the optimize feature of iCloud Drive. So a new feature that you can use in FaceTime is to control how you look. Right now you see exactly what's behind me, which is a green screen, but for you it's probably a bookcase or a wall or a door or window or whatever. So you can now go to the camera controls here in the top and go to background. And you could swap out the background and you can choose a solid color. It's a gradient really. You can choose one of Apple's backgrounds like this, or you can add one of your own photos to this little collection here and use one of your own photos for it. So this works in FaceTime but also in other apps where you're using your camera. Now for a while macOS has had a built-in password manager, but it's kind of awkward to access it. You have to go into System Settings to get to it, or in Safari Settings. But now finally it's got its own app. So you can just run this Passwords app, and that's where you have access to all of your passwords. So it works more like third-party password managers having this independent app here. There is even a cool function where you could go into Settings and you could turn on Show Passwords in menu bar, and then you get this little key up here and you can access your passwords without even having the Passwords app opened. By the way, if you find my videos valuable, you may want to consider joining the more than 2,000 others that support MacMost at Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it here. Messages has a few new features. One is that you can now use tapback as before, but instead of just being restricted to these 6 different icons, you could actually use any emoji that you want. So you can choose all these different symbols as something you tap back with. You could also use stickers. You create those on the iPhone and you can grab one of your stickers here, and this is from a photo. It can be animated or not. So the tapback options have greatly expanded. There are also a few new message effects that you could use. You can see here the list got a little bit longer and there's a few new things that you can do. And when you go to send a message now, in addition to just sending it, you can now send later. So you can choose a date and time and have the message sent then instead of right now, which is what you would get if you just normally pressed return. Now the calculator app has changed. There's actually now a universal calculator app that's on the iPhone, the Mac, and on the iPad now. You still have all of the different modes here. So you've got your basic mode, your scientific mode, and your programmer mode. But even in basic mode, you could type out a formula and you can see the whole formula like that. And then you press equals and it even remains there at the top. And this is really handy when you go to scientific calculator because you could see the left and right parentheses really clearly like that. As a matter of fact, even though it's not shown here, you could actually type the parentheses and use them in basic mode for the calculator. In addition, conversions look different and they work in a really clever way. You just go to View and turn on Convert, and now it converts whatever answer there is to the calculation you're performing from one thing to another. So you can change what it is. For instance, I can convert temperatures. I could do Celsius and I can go to Fahrenheit. And now whatever I type here, I see the conversion happen automatically. And you can do this with all sorts of units, but you can also do it with currency as well. Now the Notes app also gets into calculating. You can type something like this and put an equals there, and it will calculate the answer. You press return and it will stay there. If you go back up and change a number, the answer updates. And you can use parentheses and some functions. You can even use variables. So I could do something like this, and then I could have formulas like this. You can see it calculates the answer. I could do another formula. Let's multiply these, and I get that answer. And now if I change this variable here, you could see it updates the results. Another trick that Notes has now is you can record and it will give you transcripts. So I'll start a recording and I'll begin recording like this. It'll get everything that I'm saying. I'll stop it and click done, and you can see I've got the transcript here. If I double click it, it brings it up here, and I could jump to a part of the recording by clicking on words, or I could select and copy and paste. This will be really useful in meetings and classes. Also, in regular Notes now, if you have headings, you can now collapse those, and it collapses everything under it. A great way to have longer notes and just see the section you want. Plus, we can now do highlighting. So you can select text like this. You click on the font tool there and click this button, and it will highlight it, and you can select from a few different colors. The Voice Memos app, by the way, also allows you to get transcripts. You can do recordings with this, and when you're done, you can see this little symbol here saying it has a transcript. You click here and it will bring up the transcript. Now, if you're like me, you've got your iPhone sitting next to you when you're using your Mac. There are certain apps that are only available on the iPhone that you have to use. You get notifications on it and everything like that. But now you can keep your iPhone in your pocket because you can access it on your Mac. So you've got this new app called iPhone Mirroring, and you turn that on and you've just got your iPhone with you. It's locked, but now you'll see the screen right here as a little window on your Mac that you can move around. You can go home. You can go to different apps. You can even go in and copy and paste from an app on your iPhone to an app on your Mac and vice versa. In the future, we'll be able to drag and drop, and you can use your Mac's keyboard to type right into your iPhone. In addition, there's something in System Settings under Notifications that allows you now to have notifications from your iPhone appear on your Mac's screen. So no more grabbing your iPhone out of your pocket to see what the notification is. It'll now appear on your Mac, and when you click it, it'll even use iPhone mirroring to give you access to whatever that notification was referring to. If you always thought it was strange that you could set a reminder in the Reminders app and have it set for a certain time and look at your calendar and then not even see it, well, that's changed now because Reminders and calendar are linked. So here you can see I've got a work meeting and it appears here in the calendar app. There's a little calendar here that just shows me all of my reminders. Plus, when you go to create a new event, it allows you to create the event like before, but you could also say, oh, instead create a reminder for the Reminders app. Safari has some new features too. They use Apple Intelligence, so you may or may not get them depending on your Mac model and which version of macOS you've got. But here you can see if I go to a page where the Reader View button was before, there's now this button that gives you even more options. You can click it and it gives you a summary if there's an article there or something that could be summarized. And you could go to Reader View if you want. Matter of fact, if you go to Reader View for this, it will not only give me Reader View, but it'll give me the summary and a table of contents on the right so I can jump to different sections of the article. There's also the option here to hide distracting items. You can select that and then you can click on any part of the page you want, like this, and it will go away. It'll be hidden. So you can trim down what's shown on the screen. Really useful perhaps for giving presentations when you want to show a web page, but you don't want to show the ads on the web page at your work meeting. Also, there's a feature that when you're playing a video on a web page, you can click here and then use the video viewer, and it enlarges the video and gives you native macOS controls for playing the video. The Maps app has really been improved when it comes to showing things like parks. If you go to, say, a national park or wilderness area, it'll show you trailheads and will also show you topographic lines. you can even create a custom route. I click this from this trailhead here. I can now go and pick my destination like that, and it will figure out the route along the trail, even show me elevation here. And I could save this route, and this will be really useful on iOS 18 where you have your iPhone probably with you on a hike like this, but useful for planning definitely on your Mac. There's some minor changes to the Photos app. A lot of things like people and memories are grouped under collections now. And in addition, you have new collection types like days and trips. So more tools to help you organize things automatically. Freeform has an interesting new feature that makes it a little bit more like a presentation tool. You can create a board like this. And let's say you want to give a presentation where you show each one of these things. You can zoom in on an area and make this into a scene. I've created a bunch of different scenes here, including this first one. So a scene is basically a location and a zoom amount. And you can jump to any other scene or just use these arrows here to go between each one. So you can give a presentation. You can do the presentation over like a video meeting, or you can use the collaboration tools in Freeform to give the presentation. Every new version of macOS seems to come with some new screensavers and wallpapers, and this is no exception. In fact, there's a really cool one called Macintosh. And when you use this, it looks like the original Macintosh system in a kind of a 2.5D view. So you're going to see all sorts of different controls and interfaces pop up. Sometimes you'll even see things like the date and time. It'll actually be correct. It's a really cool screensaver or desktop background to have. Now, I know a lot of you are curious as to whether or not your Mac can run macOS Sequoia. All you need to do to figure that out is to go to Apple's site and go to their page on Sequoia. This is the preview page, but by the time you see this, it will be just the regular Sequoia page. Scroll down there and you'll see this section near the bottom that tells you exactly which Mac models are capable of running macOS Sequoia. But not only that, sometimes various features only work on certain Macs or using certain languages or region settings. You can find footnotes on that at the bottom of this page. So you look at the feature at the top of the page, and if there's a footnote, you go down here and you see information about where this feature is available. So if something isn't working for you or it looks different than what I'm showing, you may want to check this. Now, of course, in the near future, I'll have more detailed videos on some of these. And as Apple releases new versions that include more Apple Intelligence features, I'll do videos on those as well. Until then, I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.
There, that was a little too fast for me. But I guess we have a whole bunch of new features that we're going to have to get used to or make use
Has
of.
anyone tried delaying a text message that they sent, setting a time on it? I was trying to figure out how to do that.
Well, me too. Thanks. But that was on the desktop. I have an 18 on iPhone and I don't see it yet either.
I don't either, and I'm on 18, so I guess it's not to our phones yet.
Well, I think it should be there.
Really, I couldn't figure out how to do it. I could unsend a message right away, but I couldn't put a time thing on it.
Google is your friend.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's
When
it.
you,
If you enter
What you-
accept and hit the plus, does that show it?
yeah,
No,
it's
it
the
didn't.
plus sign.
Good for me, but
thank
I'll
you.
try it again.
Maybe.
See all those things come up? Scroll down until you find it.
Right.
I scrolled down, but I didn't
Oops.
find it.
Wait. Well,
No.
do we have a message there?
No, it's not there.
Wait a minute. First, make a message.
Yep, you got to put something in there.
Yeah, I did that.
Well, Google is our friend.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be Googled.
It's got to be quicker than the old way. We had to make a shortcut.
You know, talking about Google, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but I think Google is getting kind of general. There are no more instant answers to everything. You have to dig through a whole bunch of stuff. Something's
goes our friend.
2, 3, 4.
Chrome.
I guess that's
Yeah, Sharon, you're muted.
That's all.
To schedule a time to send an email, you compose it and everything, and then you hold down the send button.
Yeah, but we're talking about messages, texting. It says you can do that now with.
Oh,
That is texting.
I mean,
Mess.
yeah, text. He was talking about emails.
Oh,
Well,
We'll Google
you
it.
can think of me as the person doesn't know why, but my question to you is, why would you want to send a text later?
I can
I'm
answer
sure
that.
there's a reason.
Time zones, different people in different time zones. You don't want to send it to somebody
Oh.
in Europe.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm
Or
like
somebody's-
doing it at 3 a.m. in
somebody's-
the morning. I don't want them to get it at 3.
Right. Somebody's
My
birthday is
bad.
tomorrow
I
and you
take it
want them
back.
to.
Or my religious relatives who don't want things sent on the Sabbath.
Oh, okay.
That
Same
too.
thing would go with people practicing certain other religions.
here's
Yeah,
here's what
hard
Google,
question.
here's what a Google search finds. In messages, type your message. Tap the plus button to access your messages apps and select send later.
It's not there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's not there on mine, and I'm on 18
No, me neither.
What phone do you have?
Oh,
of
Yeah. Are you
14.
updated?
Yep, I'm updated to 18.
I have
Wow.
an SE.
Someone
I'm actually
said there's an
14.
18.1 out. Maybe check and see it for an update.
Ah, you can only do it with iMessages. You can't do it with SMS messages.
Okay.
That's what well, no, it's iMessage. Hmm.
What is iMessage?
I've got it on my phone, but I haven't tried it on the desktop yet.
iMessages go to Apple devices.
Right.
SMS messages go to non-Apple devices, and that's why there's two colors.
Yeah, I tried to send it to myself, but maybe that's why it didn't work.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
No, you can't delay messages to yourself.
Okay, that's what it was.
Oh,
then.
thank you.
That's what it
Actually,
was then.
actually, I was able to just test that and remove a message I sent for myself, and I saw it go away.
Yes.
Okay. Next to
worked.
the message here, next to the message you just typed, to the left, there's a plus button. You push
Yeah.
that, and there's a list of things, and the second one appears to be send later.
Great. Now, with the new password manager, will my passwords that are in the whole keychain Safari method, will they immediately move over to that new password manager?
Yes,
It's
it's
just
just an
a-
interface to the old data.
Right.
Okay, great.
It actually pulled passwords that I had outside of my keychain as well. It found those.
Okay.
Peter's got a question.
Yes.
Mr. Weller.
I showed up late, and
Welcome.
for the first 10 minutes or so online, I was just getting no sound from the meeting, and mostly seeing Mike Dickinson, who was not talking but was just listening. And then I realized there were two new buttons at the top of my Google menu, one saying meeting and the other one saying Bruce's name,
That's correct.
and I had the wrong one pushed, evidently. So you now can, if somebody's sharing screen, evidently you can bypass that if you choose. But I had no idea it would silently be looking at whoever happened to pop up. Yeah, in other words, right now, if I click on Bruce's screen, well, yeah, I see the question and comments page. And going back to the meeting, I'm seeing John right now. So
that's because in meeting you have the view set to just speaker.
oh, you can
Go
set
to the
view.
top right and change the view.
Change it to the new one.
Multi-speaker or
multi-speaker view.
Multi-speaker is the new one everybody likes. I like it.
Choose multi-speaker view. It's a third one down, I believe.
Yeah, how do you get to that button?
The top right corner of the screen under the view pull down.
There's a button called named View.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Multi-speaker, yeah. Yeah,
It
they just keep
rotates the-
making everything complicated.
Well, this is much better because whoever's talking gets pulled up into the top as they speak to each other out of a conversation, and it rotates out the people who are talking.
I see. Yeah, how long has Zoom been doing this?
Since they changed to Workshop,
There you go.
Oh, okay. Workplace.
Workplace, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's go continue on with the videos.
Okay. Next one I have is from Apple Support, and it's a short one. And so it's about, whoops, too fast. Hey, what do you do if you forget your Apple account password?
Panic.
Oh, they're telling you not to. So here it goes. They're going to tell you what to do.
Forgot your Apple account password? Don't worry, it's easy to reset in the Settings app of your trusted device thanks to two-factor authentication. Here's how. In Settings, tap your name. Then tap Sign in Security and tap Change Password. If stolen device protection is enabled, you might be required to wait for 1 hour before you can use Face ID to reset your Apple account password. When you're ready, enter your device passcode and enter your new password in both fields. Tap Change to confirm, and when prompted, choose whether to sign out other devices that are using your Apple account. If you still need help, visit iforgot.apple.com. And that's it. Password reset.
That easy. Yeah.
Not always.
No, it's not. I panicked when there's something that happened when I was setting up this mini, and I don't know what, but it wouldn't take my password. Oh my goodness, it took me forever. But anyway, this is too easy. I didn't have two-factor authentication or anything like that, so I had to.
No, you should have two-factor on your Apple ID for sure.
Yeah, I did after that. So
the easiest way to do it is not on your computer, not on a Mac, but do it on your iPhone. If you're currently logged in and working, but you don't know the password, you can just select change password and it will allow you to do it. And then you can say log out all the other devices, but then you'll have to re-enter the new password. If you don't, it sends the new password to the other devices that you're already logged into. It's really easy. Of course, two-factor, you want that on, it'll send you a code that you put in and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
I tried this at one point and it actually changed the password to a different account that I was logged into, and it wouldn't let me get back the things. And that computer was being decommissioned at the time, and now I can't get back into that account at all.
Well, whatever account you're logged into on the iPhone, that's the password, the Apple ID, that the password changes. It wouldn't be able to change the password on another Apple ID if you have more than one.
Right.
I was trying to fix something that I was administering for a parent. And it confused my password change with a password change to their account. And then it just wouldn't let me undo the mess. And I called Apple on it and they said, we can't verify that you're legitimate. And so
you can use your iPhone to help a friend if they don't have a login. You say change the password for what, and they have to log into their Apple ID on your phone, and they can update their password so they can get into their device.
It's okay. It's now a decommissioned computer.
Yeah, that's the only way, the only other way.
You really should, you need to have, your Apple ID should have a cell phone number so they can text you if they have to. You can say, I
Right.
didn't get the code, they will text you. And another email address, an alternate email address for them to contact you, because sometimes they have to send the code to the other email address. You don't, and it gets more difficult. Sometimes they'll delay it and they'll say, okay, come back in 24 hours. Or sometimes I've had it say, you got to wait 2 weeks and we'll send you an email. And they'll tell you the date they're going to send you the email in 2 weeks. And then you look for it and then you'll get it and they'll say, okay, now you can do it. Depends on how much they don't know about you that you can't verify.
Right.
That's
Keep-
basically
keep-
what happened to me. Waited 2 weeks they sent me an email.
Yeah, definitely. Your Gmail, any of your logins for passwords for emails should have a cell number that your iPhone that they can alternately send to, and some other email address like Gmail can have the Apple or Comcast can have the Gmail. They got it, so they got to have as many ways as possible for them to get a hold of you. If it fails one way, they can say, okay, didn't get the code, email it to me or text it to me. You need to give yourself the best chance. They'll even call your landline and the voice will speak to you and say, your code is blah, 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 blah. If you can, that's a possibility. But you got to be at home to do that, where your iPhone, you can be anywhere and like at the office, they'll text it there, but somebody has their home phone, they're calling their home phone and they're not there, and then that's a problem. Okay. Any more password comments and questions? We'll go on.
Yeah, anybody else having issues with passwords? I'm sorry.
I sent a little request in about if I had a Google email and a Google password, how would I get that? How would I recreate a Google password for my email?
How would you reset it?
Yeah, how would I reset it?
Go to google.com and
Okay.
log into your account.
See, like that's a problem. I can't log into my account.
Well, when you can't log in, it says, forgot password. And
Right.
hopefully you have a cell phone number or another email address where they can contact you with the reset. If you don't, you're pretty much digging yourself a grave.
That's where hindsight's 2020. Okay, so I go to google.com and then I do what? Go in and set reset.
Sign in.
Sign in. Okay.
Type in your Gmail address and what you think is the password, and when it fails, push forgot.
Yeah, forgot password.
And they'll walk you through. They'll say, okay, send a code, and they'll give you X'd out email, X'd out phone number with 2 digits on the end. If that's your cell number, you type in your cell number to verify it, and they'll text you the reset. And you put in the code, and then they'll come back and they'll allow you to reset it. Or they'll say, we're going to send you an email, and they won't show you the whole email, but they'll show you enough for you to identify it. Some other email, like your Comcast or your iCloud, where they were going to send you the email with the 6-digit code. You come back, you put it in, and allow you to reset it. Hopefully you have those.
Okay. I don't know. It didn't seem important when I was going through it the first time. Obviously, I was not cleared about that. So I will start over this and see if I can't recreate the password for the Gmail. But I have 2 Gmail accounts, but I don't know if they connect up or not.
No, they don't know anything about each other. They're totally independent.
Okay, there we go with that. Okay, so if I can't get it, do I just somehow Google it or email somebody or hope for the best? Or what do you, any
It all
idea?
depends on what they know about you.
Okay.
How they can contact you. It's pretty much late. If it's any recent created recently, when you set it up, they require a cell number to contact you.
Yes,
If you set
I
it up
have
a
one.
long time ago, they maybe didn't do that and they don't have that.
Okay.
So it depends. You're just gonna have to try and see
Okay,
what
so my
happens.
my email is Gmail. It's my jmcstar@gmail.com. But then the
Yes.
question is that an Google email or is that Apple email? It's a
At
Google email, right?
gmail.com is your Google login for everything Google, including your Gmail, your YouTube, your whatever. Everything that Google has is in your Google account.
Gmail
Okay.
means Google Mail.
Right.
That's right. So what would my Apple ID or Apple password, what would that example be?
Could be if it's ancient, could be .mac, or then they changed to .iCloud and no, it was at me.com for a while. Now any recent ones are only available at iCloud.
iCloud, right?
Okay, I don't have any of those. So
You should get one.
iCloud.
You should
Yeah.
get one. They're free. They're good. That's an alternate address. That's your one you give to Google for them to contact you if your things
Right.
go wrong, vice versa.
Okay, so I would do that by just reaching out to Apple and ask them to create an iCloud email for me.
No, you can do it on your phone or your Mac. Do you have an Apple ID at all?
I have no idea. If I knew all this, I wouldn't.
Can we save this?
On your Mac or on your phone, go to the settings, and at the top it will have your name. And if you have an Apple ID, it will show your Apple ID. If not, you create one right there.
Okay, I got. Okay, go to settings.
At the top.
iCloud or Apple ID, it's called.
It's your picture. Click that picture.
It's the very top thing.
It's very hard to own an Apple product without having an Apple ID created at some point.
Well, it just says jmcstar@gmail.
Well, that's your login.
Right.
You have an Apple ID, and your Apple ID login can be any email address, including a Gmail. And now, does it say you're logged in?
Well, what happens is I log into this email because I'm connecting with you folks, but then I have other Gmail accounts that want a Google password to access it.
Okay, it sounds like you need to make an appointment at the clinic. You have way too much going on with this that you don't know. This can take literally, it usually takes me an hour per device per email to fix this stuff. Literally. You got 3 emails. How many devices? Phone, iPad, you could be there. This could take hours to repair.
I hope
And
not.
how much stuff they don't know and how screwed up it is.
Okay, how would I make an appointment?
Call Rick Calicuri. His phone number is in the email on Sunday.
Call him Sunday on Sundays?
No, in your emails that you received Sunday night.
Oh,
in there is a email for the clinic for Rick. Not an email, a phone. He requires you call on the phone.
Right. I just have this iPhone. I don't have a landline.
It doesn't matter. How many Apple devices do you own?
4.
There you go. Landline is not involved in any of this.
Okay. So I have 2 iPads. One's really, really old. One Mac and one iPhone. Those 4.
Did we save this by any chance till the question?
Yes.
I didn't
related
mean-
to password,
Good
but you need to look in your call Rick. Get the number from the Sunday email. Call Rick and make an appointment and bring all your devices to the clinic.
All right, thank you. Sorry about it. Okay.
And call him soon because it's this Saturday.
Okay. I will call him today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next video. Move on.
Okay, next video is the 12 new things to try in iOS 18. So this is the new update to your phone, if your phone is able to take 18. And so here we go with Gary.
This is Gary with MacMost. Let's take a look at what's new in iOS 18. So even before Apple Intelligence comes out, there are a whole bunch of new features in iOS 18. So when you update or get a new iPhone, check these out. First, you can now rearrange the icons on your screen and leave gaps, putting the icons wherever you want. So I'm going to tap and hold one of these and then drag it down, and you can see I could place it here at the bottom, leaving this gap. The rest work like a list like before, but as soon as you've dragged them all out, you really have complete control over where all of these icons go. You can also change how that home screen looks completely. Tap and hold anywhere until you're in wiggle mode. Then tap Edit and Customize. Now you can go from light to dark mode, or if you just want to get rid of the colors in the icon completely, go to Tinted. Now you can choose a color and all the icons will be tinted that color. You can use the eyedropper tool and select a color from the background there. You can also get rid of the labels and just go with larger icons. Now you know that flashlight button at the bottom left-hand corner of your lock screen? The one you accidentally tap every once in a while and now the flashlight's on, draining the battery? Well, you can get rid of that and replace it with something else. Go into Settings and then to Wallpaper. And then tap on the lock screen that you see right there. If you've got different wallpaper sets, make sure to go to the one you're using. Once you get to that, notice how you can use the minus button here and get rid of the flashlight. You could just leave that spot empty, or you can tap the plus button there and add a button that might be more useful to you. You can even add a shortcut so you can do just about anything with that spot. Another thing you can do on the home screen is now lock apps so that it requires either Face ID, Touch ID, or a passcode to get into them, even if your iPhone's unlocked. You can't do this for all apps, but for the ones that work, you can tap and hold and then select Require Face ID and then confirm. Now it'll say Touch ID if you use Touch ID, or it'll say passcode if you use neither. And now when you go to access that app, it's going to have that extra layer of security to get into the app. By the way, if you find these videos useful, you can join the more than 2,000 others that support MacMost at Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. Read about it right here. You can also customize Control Center now on iOS 18. So you drag down from the top right to bring up Control Center, tap and hold on the blank spot at the bottom, and then go to Add. Then you can add another button. So for instance, let's add a button to start a timer quickly, and you can see how that's added there. And you can also drag the bottom right corner of a lot of these to expand them into larger buttons, sometimes with more functions. In the Messages app, if you use Tap Back by tapping and holding on one of the messages you've received, you've got the standard 6 responses. But you can now use any emoji and respond with that. You can tap the last item there and it gives you the full set of emoji to use as tap back responses. You can also use stickers that you've created as well. But the biggest new feature in Messages is the ability to, instead of tapping here to send the message right away, tap plus next to it and now select Send Later. And now you can schedule a message to be sent at a later time or date. The functionality of the built-in iOS Passwords Manager hasn't changed much, but what's different now is instead of going into the Settings app, there's now an independent app that you can use to access all your passwords. The Voice Memos app lets you record memos just like before. But a new feature now is the ability to see a transcript of what you recorded. So I'll stop this recording here and you can see this little indicator here saying that there's a transcript. You can tap the 3 dots button and view transcript or go into editing mode and you can see the transcript. You can jump right to a portion of the audio by clicking on a word. You could also copy and paste from the transcript. This also works in the Notes app if you use Record Audio there. But the coolest new thing in Notes is the ability to do math. All you need to do is just type the math equation using standard math symbols. The equals key is what will trigger the calculation there. You can then go in and edit the equation like that and you could see the answer updated. You could also do all sorts of things like using parentheses, math functions. You could set variables and then have calculations based on those variables and then simply update those variables to change the results. You also have the ability now in Notes to highlight text. Just make the selection that you want and then use the font style button here, and a new option is highlight and you can select from several different colors. And finally, check out this new functionality in the Maps app. If you go to a wilderness area like a national park, you're going to see topographic lines. Plus, you can also plot a course using trails. So here I've got a trailhead that I looked up, and I can use create a custom route like that. Then I can select another point along a trail like this one here, and it will plot the course along the various trails, even show me elevation gain. And I could do all sorts of various things to track my progress along that trail. If you want to know if your iPhone will support iOS 18, all you need to do is go to the iOS 18 page at apple.com. Scroll down to the bottom and you'll find this list of all the devices that are supported. But also, if you scroll back up on the same page, you'll find various footnotes for some of the features. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and you could read these footnotes, and they'll often tell you if these features only work in certain languages, regions, or with certain models of the iPhone. So a lot of cool new things to check out in iOS 18. And remember, in iOS 18.1 and 18.2 later this year, we're going to be getting some cool new Apple Intelligence features as well. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.
There we go. Sounds like sooner or later our phones are going to be just have the same software that our PCs do and the same functions. And he was just talking about the same thing you could do on Sequoia, and now he's doing it on iOS 18, like the trail thing.
Listen,
and stuff.
everybody, the Photos app has been changed, but he said in the previous video it hasn't changed much in Sequoia, which I looked at it, and that's true. On iOS, people are complaining and crying because it's so much changed. And a couple people posted the fix. It's basically they have this whole section underneath your library with all these new settings that are in the left column anyway, and you can just go in and turn them all off, and then it looks like Sequoia. So, and yesterday I got Jason Snell, who wrote the book for Photos, or Take Control Books. He's got a new version, just came out yesterday, and I got him for next month on the 22nd for our Zoom meeting to talk about the Take Control of Photos book. So that's good.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, any more thoughts regarding this new operating system we're going to be on now? Or we are on. Everybody updated, hopefully? Because otherwise those features are not available. So update, and that's all for the videos. And next thing is going to be questions and answers. So
Okay, I'll end the recording, end your screen share, and I'll figure out how to end the recording here. So DVMUG members who are watching this on YouTube, you can watch the next section of general Q&A. The link will be on the DVMUG BBS. So hope to see you there. End your share, Bruce. Okay, now I'll restart.